A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant diplomatic move, President Trump hosted a short-notice summit with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and key European leaders on Monday, aiming to address the ongoing war in Ukraine that has persisted for over 3 years. The atmosphere at the summit was described as positive, with leaders appearing genuinely eager to find compromises that had seemed unattainable just weeks prior. This summit has raised hopes for a potential resolution to the conflict, which Trump has likened to challenges not seen since World War II. However, as optimism grows, so do the challenges ahead. As the summit commenced, reports indicated that Russian forces were ramping up their assaults on Ukraine, launching 182 infantry attacks, deploying over 5,100 artillery rounds, and utilizing drones in a relentless onslaught. Tragically, these attacks resulted in the loss of at least 10 civilian lives, including a child, underscoring the grim reality that continues to unfold on the ground. This stark contrast between diplomatic efforts and military aggression from Russia highlights the complexities of the situation. During the summit, discussions centered around potential international security guarantees for Ukraine, a topic that had gained traction following an earlier meeting in Alaska. However, despite the initial optimism, no concrete agreements were reached, leaving many questions unanswered. How can Ukraine's armed forces be bolstered to deter further Russian aggression? Who will bear the financial burden of these enhancements? And crucially, what measures can be taken to prevent Russia from re-establishing its naval capabilities in the Black Sea, which could jeopardize Ukrainian grain exports? These questions reflect deep-seated divisions not only between the US and Europe, but also within the Trump administration and Ukraine itself. The lack of clarity on troop deployments and the nature of territorial concessions further complicates the negotiations. As discussions continue, it appears that Putin may be using the diplomatic talks as a strategic delay, allowing his forces to regroup while Washington refrains from imposing further sanctions in hopes of achieving peace. In a concerning development, Putin's recent demands include ceding territories currently under Ukrainian control, including a significant portion of the Donetsk province. This area, home to approximately 300,000 residents, is considered a crucial defensive stronghold for Ukraine. Should Russia gain control over it, the implications could be dire, providing a launchpad for further assaults on major Ukrainian cities. Public sentiment in Ukraine remains largely in favor of reclaiming all territories recognized internationally, including Crimea, which was annexed by Russia in 2014. A recent poll conducted by Ukraine's Academy of Sciences Institute of Sociology revealed that nearly half of respondents are determined to restore control over their entire territory. Only a small fraction are willing to accept a frozen conflict along the current front lines. The notion of ceding any territory to Russia is met with overwhelming opposition, reflecting the strong desire among Ukrainians to maintain their sovereignty and democratic values. As the peace process unfolds, it is crucial for Trump's administration to recognize and respect the Ukrainian commitment to freedom and independence. Misjudging the resolve of the Ukrainian people could lead to a rejection of proposed peace initiatives and potentially exacerbate the conflict, resulting in a prolonged and bloody struggle. Looking ahead, Trump has the opportunity to keep the peace process moving forward. He can reinforce the message of U.S. support for Ukraine's security guarantees and the continued provision of military assistance if no peace agreement is reached. Additionally, leveraging strategic ambiguity and the threat of secondary sanctions on nations conducting business with Russia could bolster diplomatic efforts. Moreover, Trump could signal his support for the bipartisan Supporting Ukraine Act of 2025, which aims to provide military aid to Ukraine funded through confiscated Russian assets and investments in U.S. military modernization. The summit on Monday has underscored the urgency of addressing these issues and the need for a concerted effort to navigate the complex landscape of international diplomacy in the face of ongoing aggression. As the world watches closely, the outcomes of these discussions could have far-reaching implications for Ukraine, Europe, and global security. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.